Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I hope you are well and I hope you're having a beautiful day. So I thought I'd jump on and give you guys an update on what's been happening in the last 12 weeks of my life slash journey towards my first bikini competition in July. So as many of you know, when I started, my coach said I needed to grow more muscle. So the first phase of my journey has been a growth phase, increasing my calories gradually so that I could build lean muscle. So I started off before the journey eating roughly about 1,600-700 calories a day, and built it up to training days I had 3,200 calories and non-training days 2,700 calories. So yes, a massive jump. But it worked. I will pop in my before and afters so you guys can compare to see where I was when I started and where I'm at now. I am on my final day of this phase, which is very exciting, and I can't wait to start prep tomorrow. So I already have my game plan in place, which is very exciting, but I'll do a separate video on that as I'd like to I think it would be beneficial to wrap up the last 12 weeks and explain to you guys what this phase entailed and how I went through it, how I coped with things. It was a big mental challenge for me, and because I haven't gone through a phase like this before, such a structured phase. I have gone through growth and strength phases before, but not to this level. So I thought I'd share with you how I went through it and how I coped. Obviously very summarized. And I thought it could be useful to some people, especially if you're thinking of embarking on a journey like this as well. It's really good to know beforehand and kind of know what's to come. It is different for everyone, but just see it from a different perspective. So for me, one thing I really struggled with was coping with the quantity of food, especially in the beginning. That jump in calories, I think I went from 1,600 straight to eating 2,500, I think it was, if I'm not correct. I can't remember now. But it was something like that, but the jump was quite big. So getting into the rhythm of eating that much was an adjustment. I did find it helpful if I stuck to eating times, and there were days where, for example, I'd miss a meal or two, and then most of my meals are fall back late in the day, and then that was really difficult with trying to eat so much in a short space of time, especially close to bedtime, and then you feel like all the food just sits there and you can't digest it. So that was a big struggle. But I must say, now towards the end of this phase, it was even more so, because the quantity was so much, especially like for things with oats. If you know me, you know I love oats. Oats is my like go-to, and especially on like if you're on like a diet, oh my word, it's like the best meal ever, especially if you make it how I make it. So oats, like I'd be having such a big bowl of oats. Whew, even thinking about it now, I'm getting full. But it would take me about, let's say, 30 to 40 minutes just to eat it. I look over at Chris, I'm like, how are you done already? And by the end of me finishing this bowl of oats, I'm like a whale. And then that is my pre-workout meal, so then I have to go train after, and it's just oof. So that takes some getting used to. And with that said, sticking to meal times was super important, so that obviously everything is spread out. If things were spread out, I was able to cope with the food a lot better. But obviously if I understand life comes in the way of things and work and whatever, but I felt like this phase has really taught me and prepared me, because I know prep's going to be even more challenging and more strict. It's prepared me to know that I'm going to have to be selfish. I'm going to have to put my time first, my meal times first, and It's all about blocking those times and then making everything else in your life work around that instead of the other way around. Because if you put yourself last and be like, I'll figure it out, I'll train when I can, I'll eat when I can, and then by the end of the day your day's taken over, and then you haven't trained, you haven't done all the things you need to. So as you know, if you're working towards a competition or something to this, you know, level, you need to be selfish. It's not going to work and it's not going to happen if you aren't ticking all your boxes. So if you're thinking of taking on a journey like this, I know it might sound harsh, but you need to be selfish, and you need to be able to commit, and you need to be able to put everything else last, and you and the show first, because it won't work if everything else if you let everything else take over, if that makes sense. And then as you can see, I'm finding it very hard to talk because I'm out of breath, because I've put on weight, more weight than I'm used to. One thing I found difficult with this phase was hitting the heaviest weight I've been in years and possibly ever. I'm weighing more, I'm holding more muscle than I used to. Obviously when I was once my heaviest weight, I was big with fat rather than muscle. So now I might not look big, but I can feel it. And then because my body isn't as used to it, and my heart, and I haven't been doing cardio, everything's been to a minimum. I feel like I get out of breath quickly. So this is another reason I'm really excited to start prep, because I need to build up my fitness again. I need to stop being out of breath from talking, so it's bad. But it's all things that come with the journey, right? And it's all a learning thing. So maybe I just need to breathe. So I spoke about coping with food, balance and routine, being selfish, and mindset. So with everything that you're doing towards the goal, you need to think of that goal constantly. Challenges will come, like for example me trying to cope with eating till I'm feel like I'm going to be sick. With each bite I'm thinking, I have to eat this, otherwise I'm not going to be the best on the show. I need to push hard in my sessions, I have to do this, I need to do that. I need to put myself first, I have to go food shop, I need to do a meal prep, I need to do all these things so that I can put myself in the best position on when it comes to show day. So it's always thinking of your goal, aligning all your actions with your goal at the end of the day, and don't let anything take you away from it. So another thing I had to cope with was getting bigger, and this really played with my emotions and how I felt, my mood. So as I mentioned, this has been the heaviest I've been ever, and seeing your body get bigger when you don't necessarily want to be, you know, understand it's all a process, and I had to go through all of this, but it's still, at the end of the day, it can play tricks and games with your mind, especially when you see your jeans ripping, you're putting your favorite leggings away because you can't squeeze into them anymore, you almost having to go up in a bra size or cup size, let's say, because your nipples are about to pop out. And so many other things. Yeah, it's been a challenge, and I think the day I hit my heaviest weight compared to when I started my journey, the day I hit that, it was 61 kg. That was a big emotional day for me. I took it like not so well. Had a little bit of a cry and everything, because you know, the scale doesn't define you. You know, it doesn't, like how I look now compared to 6 years ago, you can't even compare the two. So your progress isn't defined by the scale, but understand that from where I was emotionally and mentally 6 years ago, that number that I hit, obviously it just brought back some memories and made me a bit emotional. I feel like, oh, I've worked 6 years so hard to get to XYZ, and now I feel like I'm going backwards, and hitting that weight made me feel like I was going backwards, where really I'm not going backwards, I'm going forwards. But the scale can play mind games on you, and that's why if you are able to detach yourself from the scale, even better, or maybe not even use it as a way of, you know, assessing your progress. This is why I'm such a fan of, even with our clients, tracking your progress through photos. And I recommend it to anyone. When you're thinking of taking on any journey, even if it's a growth phase, take your before photo, because it is so important, so you can see where you started and compare it to where you are currently. And I've shown it you my before and afters, and it shows that obviously I've progressed, I've grown in the right way, because I did it the right way. I wasn't just mindlessly eating whatever I wanted. Even I was allowed 3,000 calories, but it wasn't 3,000 calories of Burger King. No, it was 3,000 calories right stuff, so that I could grow the lean muscle. Yeah, so 12 weeks are done, and now I go into prep. So today is my last day of the growth phase. I'm resting. I've been resting for 3 days. Today's my 3rd day. Minimum steps. I'm on 3k steps. I think I'm now 2,300. So literally Chris is gonna have to carry me everywhere. And yeah, it's been interesting, it's been fun, it's been a learning experience, and I know it's gonna get tougher, and I'm gonna have to be more strict and put my foot down and put me first. But it's about how badly do you want it. If you want to be number one up on stage, you're gonna have to make the sacrifices. And I'm just hoping you have a strong support network behind you, as I do, because it really does help. I hope you found this video useful. If you have any questions, feel free to message me and I'll be happy to answer them. I will be doing a video on possibly updates on my posing, because it's improved so much compared to when I started, and also possibly a video on prep, as prep is starting tomorrow, which is very exciting. Look at Nibbles. Nibbles! Okay, so that's that. Thank you guys for watching. If you found this video useful, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe. I'm super appreciate it, and keep tuned for more videos to come. My 20 weeks towards my show, 20-week prep.